Okay, your most recent tweet is that you are absolutely now in favor of the company going private. You were a little bit skeptical in the beginning. Tell us about the change of heart.
Yeah, so originally I believed that going private would reduce transparency and liquidity for Tesla. But the more I think about it, I recently did a podcast with Gene Munster. I just think that being public has become a huge distraction for Tesla. And some companies like Amazon and Netflix have been able to overcome this, but clearly Tesla's having issues. And if Elon thinks the company can be more focused on the longer term and has a better chance of achieving its mission privately, then I'm all for it. And I think this whole going private news is really a sideshow. I'm really getting excited about the fundamentals of the company, and that's really what I've been focusing on.
Hey, Galileo, we were looking at a tweet a moment ago saying you picked up more shares at 334. We know it's at 308 today. Are you buying even more here on the day on this dip that we saw?
No, I don't have any more cash. If I wasn't a broke startup founder, I would be, though. And that really goes down to the fact that, Bloomberg's production tracker is saying the Model 3 is over 5,000 a week. The recent VIN data we're seeing is indicating that production could be around 6,000 per week. So I think this is the real story here. By my estimates, these production levels indicate that Tesla could be cash flow positive and profitable today, like literally this week with the current production levels. So I'm more excited about the fundamentals of the company than ever. Public or private, I intend to hold on for as long as I can because I think we're only getting started. I believe Tesla is one of the strongest product pipelines in the entire stock market right now. And I think Wall Street is going to start focusing on that as they see that the Model 3 is successful and start assigning a net present value of the cash flows for the Model Y and the Semi, which I think is going to be really exciting and take the stock to new highs.
It's amazing to watch your optimism really stay strong despite almost day after day. We're hearing more reports of either an investor not coming through that had been previously reported or that Elon Musk had cited. How do you stay so optimistic despite this news cycle here for Tesla?
Yeah, I try and ignore a lot of the headlines if they're not official statements. Like, for instance, this news that Saudi Arabia is considering investing in Lucid Motors with $1 billion stake. And somehow people are interpreting that as bad for Tesla, which just makes no sense to me. I mean, Saudi Arabia already has at least $1 billion position, if not more, in Tesla's common stock. If anything, them showing interest in Lucid validates that they do want to put a ton of capital into electric vehicles. So I just think there's so many headlines here that are getting spun as negative for Tesla when they're really not non-issues.
Okay,
I
understand. No, I understand that the reports are not from the company itself. But even in this interview with the New York Times, which a lot of people actually traded the stock down as a result, it seemed like it was a sympathy play that Elon Musk wanted to gain sympathy for his state of mind. But that didn't work. So even with something like that, where it's his own words, you still feel confident in his leadership?
Yeah, I'm still confident in Elon, and he's the biggest reason I'm invested in the company. But, he messed up tweeting funding secured and the price. Like, I think that was a self-inflicted, all the drama that's coming out of that is totally self-inflicted. And I don't think that was a wise move. But once again, I just think the fundamentals are more important than anything. And those are driving the value of the company. And I think those are doing better than ever. So, public or private, it doesn't matter. And that's just sort of my opinion.
We know it is the 3 to 5% stake that the Saudi sovereign wealth fund does have in Tesla right now. But I want to come back to this Lucid Motors topic that we've been talking about throughout the day and the morning. Why does that not present an issue to you, especially as they are kind of in limbo between who they're going to invest capital in, and doesn't that take some of the capital off the table that they would give to Tesla in this instance?
I mean, Saudi has plenty of capital to fund both, and I'm just very confused as to why an investment in Lucid would prohibit them from investing more capital in Tesla when they already have more capital at stake with Tesla. Like, is there a rule that the Saudis have saying they can only hold one electric vehicle investment at a time that I miss?
To your point, look, nobody's come out and said anything on the record. These are all sources telling different reports, and we're trying to piece all these puzzle pieces together, Galileo. But, I do have to continue to come back to ask you because I really am so amazed by your enthusiasm and many bulls, too, to shrug all this off. Is there something that Elon Musk could do that would make you change your mind about him?
I will say I'm definitely frustrated with Elon to some degree, in that his Twitter antics, I believe, are hurting the company more than helping, and a lot of the skepticism around Tesla is totally self-inflicted. And I think, as we saw in the New York Times article, like he's been working like crazy. He's probably overworked. He's stressed. He's not sleeping enough. But this is just sort of how Elon is. I mean, if you read his history and what he's done with companies and startups, this is just sort of how he operates. And I believe he's sort of gone, crossed a line recently with the pedophile tweet and this funding secured tweet. So I'm hoping he learns and moves forward and keeps improving. But once again, I think the value of the company is not based on his tweets. It's based on how good the products are. And the bottom line is the Model 3 is being produced at a volume higher than ever. Tesla as a company is probably profitable and cash flow positive this week. And that is more important than any news about what Elon is tweeting or not. And so I just think this is an entire media distraction. And that's why I bought shares at 334, which is by far the highest price I've ever bought into Tesla. And I'm comfortable buying at that price. And I still think it would be a good buy at 334 because I think the intrinsic value of the company is better than ever as they're actually profitable. So that just is what gets me really excited. And I'm definitely bummed about Elon's tweets and wish he would just chill out a little. But I think in the long term, it's just a non-issue.
Do you think Elon needs to take a vacation right now in wake of them potentially being profitable soon or right now?
Yes, I say why not? Take a little vacation and don't push yourself to the limit because, we all support you.
All right, Galileo, thanks as always for joining us there, founder of HyperChange TV. Have a great week.